kayFabe Wrestling Talk. This is where we come to hear how wrestling should be talked about. Yeah! We are going to talk about Smackdown! April 3rd, 2026. Smackdown after Raw. Was it eventful? I don't know. Are they eventful anymore after? Not after Raw. After Smackdown after WrestleMania. Hey, my name's Handsome Nick Hanlon. This is kayFabe Wrestling Talk. This is where you come to hear how wrestling should be talked about. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, let people know. And keep in mind, if you think I'm wrong, you're probably wrong, and that's just the way she goes. We got Smackdown after Raw. Starts with one of my favorites, Fatu. Hey, how's he do it? You know what I mean? Shaking the, maybe I shouldn't try that stuff. Anyway, here I am talking about Fatu starting out SmackDown, and basically he wants to tell Roman he's ready. He spent his entire life hearing people say, I'm not ready. Roman says he's not ready. People say he's not ready. I think he thinks he's ready. I think he's ready. Roman, you got your hands full with this guy, and there's some stuff later on, obviously, that happens we'll talk about, but the Usos come out, and Jimmy's trying to talk him back into the bloodline, but Jay's like, it's too late. You've already stepped up. You got to see if you can sink or swim. Here comes the other side of the bloodline. This MFT's come down. And, Tama Tonga, again, he's like, why are we wasting our time with this? We need gold. This is nothing really to do with us. Even though it is family, I think he's more interested in just, making his family bigger. And Solo gets really obsessed on certain things. Anyway, he wants Fatu to join him. And says he can't beat Roman without them. There's no way he's going to beat Roman without them. He can't even beat Solo, they said. Fatu kicks Tama in the face. Fatu sets up a match with Solo, and that's about it. So the interesting thing about this whole thing is both sides of the family are now fighting against Fatu. Fatu is like this nucleus in the middle that's really spun up the entire bloodline. The Roman side, the Solo side. This is a very, very interesting situation, family situation happening right in front of our eyes, and it's very, very exciting. All right, we got the first match, Giulia versus Tiffany Stratton for the U.S. title, and this is a hell of a match. Maybe with all the people getting fired, maybe people are picking up their feet or something. I don't know, but this was a great match, I thought. At one point, Tiffany goes for the prettiest moonsault. She gets her legs swept right out by Giulia. Giulia hits a net breaker on the outside of the ring that just looked insane, right off the apron with Tiffy's feet on the apron, like a spinning neck breaker thing. Tiffy, and she hits this backflip stunner that looked amazing. I was going to have the belt in the pod today. Where did I put my belt? Here it is. Really should have this in camera, right? There's the belt. I have another belt somewhere too, but I don't feel like getting it. This was a great match. Giulia's manager tries to interfere. She messes up. Tiffy, she hits a standing swanton, goes for the moonsault. Then she gets caught in a submission at the end of that moonsault. Really wild match. In the end, Tiffy gets the win with a reversal on an insane Northern Lights by Giulia. But Tiffy reverses it with an Alabama slam, hits the moonsault. Tiffy now has a strap. Not this one specifically, because this is the beautiful Eagle belt, the belt that they should still be using. I don't know why they don't. It's the best belt in the history of wrestling. Either way, Tiffy is the new U.S. champion. Maybe she should have started there. She had a good run as champion, I guess. Yeah, I'm happy for her. Good work. She looked amazing. They both looked amazing. This is Giulia's best match, in my opinion. There's so much hype around her, but really a lot's been happening with her. So I'm very excited. So we got Brie Bella, we got Paige making her SmackDown debut since coming back 8 years, I guess. And, Brie basically just wants to welcome Paige back. Paige gets huge pop, says she's happy to be home. I'm happy to see Paige. I love Paige. Either way, here comes Charlotte and Alexa saying, well, why are we not fighting? Paige does say this is her division. Well, Alexa and Charlotte disagree, and they're like, well, if it's your division, you might need to prove it. A match starts, it's picking up momentum, and then this new faction from NXT, I guess they're on SmackDown now, comes down and destroys all four legends. This is the story. Fatal Influence comes down. JC Jane and her cronies, and they beat down four legends. And they beat them down good. This is definitely going to leave a mark. This is going to show influence. This is going to get some people sitting up a little straighter. It's going to be interesting to see what this what are they called again? Fatal Influence group does. I know I've seen them a bit in NXT. They were very formative there. Well, to be able to take out four legends, that's one way to start. I'm excited about these guys. They might just take over all of wrestling. Who knows? Cody Rhodes promo time. And he does mention he wanted to send a few messages at WrestleMania, and one of those messages was the fact that even he got a football kick to the head by Randy Orton, he still walked up that aisle. No losers alley, which is beside the ring. No medical bed thing. I don't know. I can't think of what that's called. He also wanted to send a message to Sanctimonious Sami Zayn because he was called Golden Boy there a few weeks ago. So he wore all gold to show he doesn't care because he is golden for his fans. And he also says that the unnamed people that keep trying to put their nose in his business, well, they're 0-3. So maybe they should just sit back and count their money and leave the wrestling to the wrestling people. And it also says if anybody wants to challenge him, he's easy to find, but he's very hard to beat. Great little promo coming out, just laying it down. That black eye is really showing. He really took a beating by Randy Orton. That was the match. That was a great match, especially since Jelly Roll got Pat McAfee out of there. So we didn't have to really see any of that stuff. So that was nice. It was just a match. And unfortunately, Randy Orton lost. I love Cody. I was hoping Randy would win that one. But Cody really putting it on the line on this promo. Talking to the bosses, talking to Sammy, talking to Randy Orton. He really made a statement with this promo. Damian Priest and R-Truth versus MFT. I don't know why Damian and Truth aren't R-Priest or something. They really should have a name. Championship match against the MFT. We got JC Mateo, who almost never wrestles, versus Tonga Tola, I believe his name is. Wade Barrett tells a hilarious story during this match about how frustrating R-Truth is. When he gets in the ring, he can fight. Apparently he took the wrong car and he had it for 2 weeks and it was missing and it was Wade Barrett's car. And he says that's a absolutely true story. One thing about this match, Damian Priest is looking top notch. I think him winning the title was a little bit of luck at the beginning, and that's why it didn't last very long because, in my opinion, he wasn't ready. But he's looking a lot more ready lately. I would just say maybe change his look. This whole match was basically R-Truth and Priest. I mean, they ran away with this match. There's a lot of dissension right now in the whole MFT situation. Teo did a really cool belly to back bridge suplex into a pin. That was incredible for that man's size. Incredible. I mean, R-Truth and Priest are on a roll. I mean, two people you would never ever think who would work together. I mean, it's crazy, but they seem to work pretty well. Now, Trick Williams coming down to the ring after this. Somebody runs up to him to rush him or something, and he bitch slapped him. He called it a trick slap. Greatness. And then as he's walking down, somebody's going to spray oil on him, and he's above the belt, below the what do you say? Below the chain, above the belt. So she just sprayed right here. Thank you. It was one of the greatest moments in wrestling history. Trick comes out to a much deserved celebration. A little Yachty says that he's his manager now. Basically, if Tricky's Mike Tyson, he's Don King. If he's Trick's Michael Jackson, he's the guy that produced Michael Jackson. I forget his name. I just had it right on my tongue. He just died recently. I know exactly who it is. Anyway, Lil Yachty says no more open challenges. You got to earn your spot to fight. a Tricky Ricky. And by the way, he had a gingerbread man out there with him to obviously poke it a little more to Sammy. Well, it turns out Sammy was inside that costume. Must have been with him all day in that costume. He had this like candy cane, beat the crap out of him. I'd love to see Sami Zayn being himself. No more sanctimonious stuff, Sammy. I applaud this. Sammy, I love it. Stop complaining, take action. Stop making friends. Kill people. This is amazing. This is kick ass. Love it, love it, love it. Welcome back, Sami Zayn. So Dan Housing broke into Miz's house. We saw a couple segments. Poor old Maria, I think it's Maria, Miz's wife, got covered in chocolate dust. He was in his pool. Miz fell in the pool, making Miz totally crazy. Very nice, very evil. That's all I got to say. I think Miz is losing his mind a little bit with this curse stuff. Interesting thing about Miz, though, no matter what, I know he's not having a great time right now, but he always finds himself in the spotlight somehow. He is a resilient. He's the Snoop Dogg of wrestling. No matter what you think he's done, next thing you know, he's like on one of the top stories in wrestling. Danhausen's a huge story. Anyway, we have a match. Danhausen versus The Miz. Danhausen versus from 1311 Mockingbird Lane, which would be the neighbor of the Munsters, 1313 Mockingbird Lane. Danhausen throws a couple great technical moves, actually. He's a good wrestler. We just don't see him wrestle too much because he's magic and, he's a tough guy to wrestle. As you saw, he did curse The Miz. Miz gets hit with some pyro. Danhausen rolls up, very nice, very evil. Danhausen wins. Danhausen's the most powerful person in wrestling. I mean, I'm just so glad he doesn't really understand everything because he'd already be champion. And I'd feel really bad for both Cody and who's the champion on the other side? Oh, and Roman, because we will probably have Danhausen with every single belt. Here comes the women's champion, Rhea Ripley. She calls out everybody. And then Fatal Influence comes out again, making an appearance after beating everybody up. They are getting booed out of the building. This is one of the greatest heel reactions I've seen for a new faction or a new person in forever. This is even worse than Dom, or better than Dom booing. They can't hear anything, and it's going on for minutes and minutes and minutes. This was an amazing, amazing first night for Fatal Influence. They are going to be huge, huge, huge. They go back and forth, telling Rhea they're going to beat the crap out of her. And then the GM calls a match, JC versus Rhea, to you're going to come out, you're going to step, you're going to have to fight the best. Well, the match doesn't last long because the Fatal Influence hops in and just beats the crap out of Rhea. These guys are making a hell of an influence on wrestling in their first night. Incredible. This is one of the best beginnings I've ever seen for a faction. I've never seen anybody get this kind of reaction coming out that quickly. Incredible. And then we got Fatu versus versus Solo. And, the Usos, because the Usos were trying to help Fatu. They're trying to, make him want to come on board. Fatu, as soon as they walk out, he's like, don't help me. Everybody interferes in this match in the MFTs. Fatu wins the match, gets jumped by all of MFT. Fatu destroys all of MFT with Uso standing there. After he destroyed him, he says, I don't need you guys, and I'm ready. He is a powerhouse, and Roman, you better watch out, bud, because this ain't looking the best for you. I can't wait. I can't wait for Fatu Roman. I can't wait for Fatu to, you know what I mean? Let's go. But this bloodline feud, both sides of the bloodline involved, love this. This is the best. You can't write this. You can't write it. It's just family drama, and it always happens. Fatu, I hope you totally destroy everybody and take over the family, but who knows? I'm trying to cue up the music. All right, well, that's it. We'll have a Raw episode popping out soon. kayFabe Wrestling Talk. This is where you come to hear how wrestling should be talked about. Like and subscribe. You know what I mean? Let's go! Yeah! Like and subscribe.